After 28 days of climbing every major mountain, I had just finished climbing some of the highest peaks on the challenge. I now had a lot more sailing to do in Scotland, with a climb on the Isle of Rum first, before sailing to South Uist and Harris in the Outer Hebrides. However, before that could begin, I had to wait for some bad weather to pass. But don't worry, I'm still going to be climbing every day. I headed to Morvern for some very remote climbs. It's so quiet here that you see more planes than cars on its very lonely roads. This peninsula is 250 square miles, but only has a population of around 300 people. Despite the constant rain, I got straight to work on the P600 majors I had to climb here. Over 2 hours in and we are not really close at all, only just got on the ridge to get to it. I wish I was climbing Nevis instead today, way easier. I've got a waterproof on, about 10 meters visibility the entire way. Get back, the weather's horrendous. The first thing I seen was that lock reflecting through the clouds, and then it just all went. So yeah, I can move a bit faster now, I can see. I am hanging. The van is just around that corner. The sun's going down. This has been by far the hardest day. I'm absolutely hanging. I can't. Day 30 began in one of Scotland's few remaining native woodlands. This climb would require an entire day to itself as it was quite remote. The sun is out, and after 2 hours I can start my climb. Number 51, that's us on top. You can see Ben Nevis there, and the moor that I done as well. And then over here, down in that valley, there's a loch and an ancient oak forest which I started my walk in. That's where the van is, and that's where I'm heading back to. So we got a long day today, very long walk just to get one mountain, but it's been very, very beautiful. Definitely not going to see anyone. It is a Wednesday, and yeah, I don't think you'd see many people here on a weekend, but it'll be a lonely, lonely day. I'm just talking to myself, but better head now, otherwise it's going to get too late. Day 31 was very similar to the previous, with another distant summit to climb, consuming most of the day. There's a big wildfire over there. Don't know if you can see the flames, but if they come out on camera, but it's massive, that fire. Once back down, I drove to Fort William for a resupply before I sailed to the Isle of Rum. Before sailing tomorrow, I strategically climbed a P600 major right next to the harbour. That way I could still be climbing every day. Just stomped through this valley. I gotta go up over this ridge. Ross Ben, I haven't had much time to film at all because we have got to go. We are short on time, so. Yes, we are, as I need to get to the harbour sharpish for my voyage to the small isles. Once aboard, I began sailing towards the large and desolate Rum, with views of its neighbouring islands. This once Viking island wasn't suitable for the van, with only its 30 locals using the main dirt track on the isle. Therefore I stayed at the hostel, who were great for taking me in on such short notice. I had been living so rough that even a hostel was a massive upgrade, and I had forgotten what warm water felt like. This gave me time to relax before climbing to the top of Scotland's equivalent to Shutter Island. The isle was vast, and it almost appeared that no one was here but me. Historically, however, this island had a much larger population, both Celtic and Vikings. The mountain Askavoll is one of the few on this challenge that has a Norse name still to this day. Places like this are what excited me the most about doing this challenge.
finding any excuse to go to somewhere so different and wonderful.
Just coming up now. Down there's the harbour I started, by the castle.
Sadly, once again, I wasn't able to stay long on this beautiful island. I sailed back with a view of what I just climbed. I would only be on Britain for a couple of days, however, before sailing to the Outer Hebrides, so I filled this time with more climbs in the Highlands.
Finally, getting closer to it now. I'm in the glen. We'll see the mountain in a minute and start getting up there. Very long walk to get to it, but luckily there's a nice track. I was expecting just bog all the way, but we got some infrastructure today, boys. Could go so much quicker on this. Up there is the final summit. Ben Nevis is looking glorious over there, still snow on it, it's almost June. Very cold winter here in the UK, so a lot of snow about still. Summer in Scotland has finally started. There's Glenfinnan all the way down there. Came a long way. You can finally see the summit. Climbed that one. I've climbed all of those over there. Climbed those. Climbed all those. I'm wondering if I can see Rum from here. I think it's Rum is just behind that mountain there. Got about 2 hours really, and yeah, catch my ferry to the Hebrides, so it is non-stop.
When leaving Glenfinnan, I noticed the damage caused by the wildfire that I saw a few days ago. It was now time to take a short drive up the road for my journey to South Uist. The van boarded with me, and once again we were sailing towards some islands. I had great views of the Cullens on the Isle of Skye. I was excited to be climbing there in the future. Once I landed on South Uist, I found somewhere to rest before my next P600 major tomorrow.
Good morning. From the Outer Hebrides, I'm going up there. Bennymore now. We've made it. Gotta get this one and then quickly catch a ferry again. So go. Nice morning there. Unbelievable weather for here, that's for sure. Another massive bog crossed. That was slowing me right down. Oh, that fucking sinking. But what a day. I don't think it's like this very often in the Outer Hebrides. So that bit over there is what I believe is the summit, and lots of sources and OS maps says that is the summit. But some reliable sources say that is the summit, and they are very similar in height from the naked eye, so I'm gonna summit both because it involves going over this lovely ridge.
Time to regroup with the van so that I could cross the causeway that linked North and South Uist together. Then another ferry to sail across to Harris and climb Clisham. Now when you drive across these islands you will see the best beach ever, until you come across the next one. Having completed my climb for the day, I rested on the coast and went to bed early. I would wake up at 2:30 AM, for an attempt at a cloud inversion on the highest point in the Outer Hebrides.
It's looking good.
To the north and west, it was a never-ending blanket across the Atlantic Ocean. The sun rising from the east silhouetted the few Highland summits that peeked out of the clouds. Another great reason for doing this challenge is that Clisham isn't a Munro, but once again, the P600 major list shows that it is full of great adventures and challenges, off the beaten path with moorlands like this all to yourself.